President of the Senate, distinguished senators, I remain Mohammed Tahir Munguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District. Well, distinguished senators, the philosophical cornerstone behind the executive sponsoring this bill is against the background of the fact that the salaries and allowances of judicial officers has remained stagnated for some years. And for any country to achieve a truly independent judiciary, adequate remuneration is sine qua non to the achievement of a truly independent judiciary that will stand the test of time and dispense justice without fear or favor. And for the judiciary to achieve that, there is need to give them adequate remuneration. And this will go a long way in insulating the judiciary from external influences, whether political or otherwise, or corruption, that will go a long way in undermining their ability to dispense justice without fear or favor. So that is the genesis or the philosophical cornerstone behind the sponsorship of this bill. I will now go to the nitty-gritty of this bill, and I will not bore you with reading the whole report, but I will go to the observations and recommendations. Paragraph 10 is the preamble of the report. 30 is the methodology adopted. 20 is the objective of the bill, while 40 is what transpired in the public hearing. 540 is the highlights of the presentation made by the various stakeholders that have honored our invitation to come and grace the public hearing. Then paragraph 6 is the legislative summary. And the legislative interventions that was made by this committee in the course of preparing this report is the issue that deals with the parity of salaries, allowances, and fringe benefits. The bill, as it was presented by the executive, gave equal salaries and allowances to justices of the Supreme Court and gave higher salaries and allowances to justices of to the President of the Court of Appeal as compared to justices of the Supreme Court. While by practice and by law, the President of the Court of Appeal and the justices of the Supreme Court are at par. But because of the administrative function being performed by the President of the Court of Appeal, a provision was made for allowances to take care of the administrative function that is being performed by the President of the Court of Appeal. So that is the difference. But all their allowances and other things are the same. Then there is the provision that deals with retirement benefit for judicial officers. Mr. President, for us to give judicial officers enhanced enumeration and allowances while they are serving and neglecting what happens after their retirement is like appropriating and reprobating. So that is why this bill also went further to make adequate provisions for their retirement, because the fear of the unknown is more than the fear of the known. So that's why a provision for their retirement was also captured. Then Paragraph 7 is the general observations that was made by the committee. Paragraph 8 is the general observations and findings. I don't know whether, in view of the time constraint, Mr. President, though I will crave for your indulgence, it's just about 6 paragraphs if I can read the findings. Okay. 1, that stakeholders were unanimous in their support for the passage of the bill, as intendiments are sacrosanct to the justice sector reform initiative of this present administration. That the bill is in consonance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the standing rules of the Senate. That the proposed legislation is apt and timely, as the increase in remuneration of judicial officers is long overdue in light of the present economic realities and high inflation in the country. That the bill under consideration is quite innovative. Aside the increment in the basic salary, it also took cognizance of certain peculiarities of the administrative structure and operation of the judiciary. Generally, the bill, if passed, will bat an appropriate and commensurate remuneration, will ensure judicial independence and integrity, as I earlier alluded to. That no doubt adequate remuneration will also allow judicial officers to focus on their professional development without worrying about financial constraints. Hence, it will improve their professionalism and decision-making skills. That fair compensation for judicial officers is crucial for maintaining public trust in judiciary, impartiality, and integrity. When judges are adequately compensated, it demonstrates a commitment by society towards valuing the important role they play in upholding justice. That increase in remuneration for judicial officers is essential to attract and retain highly qualified and experienced professionals who possess the necessary skills, knowledge, and integrity to serve in the bench. That certainly the bill will give financial security to retired judicial officers after years of dedication in the profession and allowing them to maintain comfortable lifestyle during their retirement. That the increment under consideration has been captured in the Appropriation Act 2024 as contained in the schedule attached. Then recommendation. The Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, to which this bill was referred to, having considered same, hereby recommends as follows: that the Senate do consider and pass the judicial officers holders salaries and allowances, etc. Bill 2024, Senate Bill 419. 419. But this bill is not 419. I so move. On conclusion, I want to seize this opportunity to thank the leadership of the Senate and indeed the whole Senate for reposing the confidence on my committee to serve this very important function. Thank you.
Distinguished Senator.
My name is Senator Abdul Ningi, and I represent Bauchi Central, Bauchi State. Mr. President, I move to second the third reading of this bill, and having said so, I look at the composition of the members of the committee, the experience of the chairman, and some of the silent points have actually been adequately covered, especially in the last page of the report of the committee, which says, on the last page of 47, that this increment under consideration has been captured in the Appropriation Act 2024 as contained in the attached schedule. And this is very, very important, so that when we pass this bill, we know as a matter of fact that this is an implementable law that the National Assembly is passing to the President for his assent. Thank you, Mr. President.
Salaries, allowances, and fringe benefits of judicial office holders in Nigeria and for related matters 2024. Third reading. Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to prescribe the salaries, allowances, and fringe benefits of judicial office holders in Nigeria and for related matters 2024. Third reading taken and passed. Let me thank distinguished Senator Mangunu, who chaired the this committee for a wonderful job and for their initiative in ensuring clarity of legislation and for the experience you've brought to bear. And also thank my distinguished colleagues for all their contributions and amendments. And of course, pray that this bill will be assented to by Mr. President in order to give our judicial officers the opportunity to do justice without fear or favor. And I pray that this will also help us to move the administration of justice forward. I thank the Senate for passing this all-important bill. Thank you.